Boker Tov, good morning. This coming with Parshat Chukat, and the theme will be Tamei Hamitzvot. Zos Chukat HaTorah, and this is the statute of the Torah. The Chukim were classified by our rabbis as unintelligible, enigmatic, and mysterious. Though it is forbidden to ask for the reasoning pertaining certain categorical imperatives, we may inquire into the explanations and interpretations. Take physics, for example. Physics does not ask why, because why is not a scientific question. It is a metaphysical question. There can be no scientific why for water freezing at 32 degrees Fahrenheit, or for light traveling at 180,000 miles per second. Asking why God issued creation commandments is certainly seeking to comprehend the unfathomable. Man must recognize that the ultimate reason for mitzvot is beyond his grasps. The very question of holy in regard to mitzvah of observance is philosophically invalid. When we ask why the context of human activity, we are truly asking what motivated him. Motivation carries an implication of an unrealized need. But with regard to the divine, it is impossible to ascribe motivation to God because he has no need nor deficiencies. Thus, in response of why God created the world, we cannot answer that it is because he is kind and wanted to bestow goodness to the world. This assertion implies that God has some vague need to do good. The only acceptable answer to the question is he willed it. As Rashi comments in this week's Parsha on the Pasuk, Zos Chukat Torah, it is a law before me. You have no permission to delve into the reason why. However, the question can be asked, what is the meaning of this chok? As far as I'm concerned, what does the chok tell me? One does not ask, why did God legislate paraduma? How did it purify the ritual defile? But one can ask, what is the spiritual message to me, to each and every one of us? Or how can I, as a thinking and feeling person, assimilate it into my world outlook, my Weltanschauung? Rabbi Norman Lamb, in his book, Hedge of Roses, Jewish Insights into Marriage and Married Life, states that what is attempted in the present work belongs to the category of Tamei Hamitzvah, the explanations and interpretations of the commandments. By this is meant not an endeavor to discover God's reasons for his laws, for that is well nigh impossible, and moreover, an act of presumption and intellectual arrogance of man. Rather, to borrow a dichotomy proposed by Dr. Samuel Belkin, past president of Yeshiva University, we are attempting to fathom the purposes as opposed to the reasons inherent in the commandments and precepts. In other words, we want to know not why God commanded them, but what he wanted us to learn from them. That is, the function of the commandments in the larger horizons of our own life. It is, of course, understood that taken in this light, the laws are independent of the purposes and rationales we find in them. For a law to be a law, it must be autonomous and not contingent upon rationalizations. Tamei HaMitzvah meaning literally the taste of commandments. The translation reason is derivative. It is this sense that we here undertake to search for the larger ends of the laws of family purity. By inquiring into ourselves, into our religious institutions, for that relevant purposes, we seek and add delightful and satisfying flavor to our spiritual diet. But by no means may we substitute the taste, the time of the mitzvah, for the substance, for our religious foods, namely the actual precepts of Judaism carried out in practice. Throughout our history, there have been those who attempted to do just that, subordinating the laws to the reasons, to the rationales they presumed to discover them. But such spiritual gourmets have ultimately and starved and withered. The law must remain independent and unconditioned by the values, reasons, rationales, and purposes. We believe we have found it. Shabbat Shalom.